Hello, thank you all for coming. I'm Rachel Nelson and I'm leading the Lady Self-Defense Seminar. First off, I'd like to thank Pastor Jay, Reverend April, the Girl Scouts of Southeastern Michigan, and my leader, Ms. Blanche Smith, and Officer Melissa Lesperance and
Sergeant Gary Boyd.
For coming. So before we start, I would like to give you guys a little bit of statistics just so you know how important this is. And the June findings in the World Health Organization, they found that 35% of women worldwide experience some type of sexual abuse, and 30% of those women also experience physical violence. And in some places, that number is pushed up to 38%. Nearly 3 women are murdered by their intimate partners every day as a cause of physical violence. 3 million children witness violence in their home each year, and more than 1 in 3 women will experience rape, physical violence, and or stalking in their lifetime. I would like to introduce Officer Lesperance, who has 17 years experience with the Wayne State University Police Department. 4 years with the Joe Louis Arena Security Department, 1 year as a supervisor. 13 years of teaching the RAD Self-Defense Program, and RAD stands for Rape Aggression Defense. 2 degrees from Wayne State University in Criminal Justice and Forensic Investigation. She has received 6 departmental commendations, 2 life-saving awards, and 1 presidential award. So without further ado, Officer Lesperance and Sergeant Gary.
It could be anybody. Go to the next slide. It could be someone that that you know personally, that you feel like you have, a bond with. It could be someone that you consider an acquaintance. It could be a teacher. It could be a friend. It could be a neighbor, a stranger, someone who's educated, someone who has no education whatsoever. There is no way to define what a rapist looks like. We had one of our RAD students come in on Tuesday, and she came into the lobby and said, "Can I speak with a RAD instructor?" Now, we get this all the time because people want to know about our class. They want to know if they can, function in the class, any questions. And so I walked out there and I said, "Hi, can I help you?" And she said, "Can we talk somewhere privately?" And I went, "Okay." So I took her into our report writing room, and she proceeded to tell me that she was able to use her RAD moves over this past Labor Day weekend to fend off an attacker. She was on a boat with an acquaintance, with a colleague of hers, one of her employees. She trusted this employee, and she went on the boat with a group of people, and in the middle of Lake St. Clair, the guy tried to rape her. And she fought him off as hard as she could. She kept telling me, "I use my RAD moves, I use my RAD moves, I use my RAD moves," and let him know that she was not going to be an easy victim that day. He was able to assault her to a certain point, but she prevented the rape by doing this. She's in the most horrible position. She's literally in the middle of the lake. There's nowhere for her to go. She can't jump overboard. Where's she going to go? She fought him off so much that he got so annoyed with her, he docked the boat and got her off the boat. The people on the boat turned their backs on her, yelling for them to help her. A grown man went like this while she's getting attacked. Her business employees turned her back. There was another woman on the boat said, "Here's a towel." Threw a towel at her. It gives me goosebumps just to tell this story. But what would you do if you were in a situation where you saw this happening?
I think we hopefully have a video that shows something like that. Not sure how much sound we're going to have.
Yeah, you're going to have to bear. I can't hear it, can you?
It is good.
What do you guys think about that?
That's why they had him yelling, or had her yelling, "You're not my dad. You're not my dad." They put that in there to, to give that instant clue to a stranger walking by that this is not good. This is really, this is not just a bad child, most likely. This is actually something really bad going on.
We have another video. Has anyone seen, I think it's on Channel 7, it's the What Would You Do series. This is the same thing as what was just on, what would you do if you're in this situation? And they put a drunk female at a bar, and then they send this guy in who looks suspicious to come and try and pick her up and to see what the other bystanders will do. And it's interesting to see what happens.
You saw a woman being murdered. A woman who could barely stand up. She's had too much to drink. We put it to the test at the Jersey Shore, where people aren't afraid of saying what they think. You're sitting at a bar and can't help but notice this plastered young woman celebrating Concerned or not, so far, no one is preventing him from taking her out of the bar. It's a frightening thought when you look at the surveillance video from a New York City nightclub last year. Watch as this drunk woman is literally picked up and dragged down the steps and out the door by a man who later rapes her. Something law enforcement experts say happens way too often. But back in New Jersey, near the door of what night appears, just in the nick of time. And he won't let up. Until the defeated young man walks out the door alone. My name is John. Yes, sir. What are you? When we catch up with him afterwards, he's overcome with concern, thinking of his own daughter. Why did you get involved? And how's he going to get along? Here. That's all right. Now you go to the kids. Peggy Ann White is someone who tragically knows exactly what he's talking about. Her 20-year-old daughter, Julianne, a model and a student, was murdered by a stranger who took her out of the bar after she had too much to drink. Back at the bar, will anyone stop our young blood from becoming a victim? And once women get involved, they often inspire others to join in. Just watch this tug of war. I think they went to the hotel, right? They went to the hotel.
Maybe I should go outside and get some air.
When he tries to carry her out, we do. But her original defenders are on the chase. She likes it.
Women definitely have a stronger reaction to someone taking advantage of them because they've probably all been there themselves.
Relationship expert Donna Barnes.
No one was there to help us when it happened to us, so it's then empowering to be there for somebody else.
As it turns out, each and every time, someone did step in to protect our intoxicated young woman. But you wonder, would it?
What does everyone think of that? Nobody has anything?
It turned out good.
Yes.
Sometimes.
So we start the discussion while we're talking about our crime prevention techniques. Try casing your own home at night and or during the day. What can you see? If you can see it, a would-be attacker can see it too. This is something that I did by accident when I was driving home to my condo after afternoon one night. I realized I had left a light on in my hallway. I did not realize that when that light was on, that it. My friend Carrie works for the government and she goes all over the United States, traveling all the time. And every time she lives like 6 blocks from me, and I watch her cash when she's gone. Every time I go over there, there's not one stinking light on. And finally, I went and she came home and she goes, "Where did all these timers come from?" And I had stuck all these lights on timers because for my safety, I didn't want to walk into that house. Sometimes I come home late and I was going over there late at night. And I had my flashlight out and my phone in this hand and I'm looking around. an ongoing war between my parents. My dad likes the shrubs that are by my parents' front door. My mom said, somebody get out behind those. So they came to an agreement, and my dad cut the bottoms off so we could see them. But it's something that's so simple. Big shrubs are something that's easy for a would-be attacker to hide behind. Windows. This is something that, a lot of people think, well, I have to set it. I don't need to shut it when I leave. Let me tell you, criminals are somebody who can climb up anything. There was a guy recently, within the summer, that he was scaling up the side of buildings in our area, breaking into homes. And we're like, how in the heck did this dude get up there? They will find a way, let me tell you. They see the opportunity, they will find a way. One thing we recommend is that you go to any of your local hardware stores, and you can find those little window locks that will only let your window open a certain amount. The other thing is a good old broomstick. Have the broomstick stick in the window, they're not going to get that window up. Or screw.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, this is how you outside the house. I have one of those little combination lock things you can put keys to. I have it on my backyard attached to my shed. Nobody wants to use it. I can't get anybody. It's so easy. What does everybody do? We don't have any of these on our front back porch. We got a Michigan State clay baseball hat and a rabbit. And everybody just uses the clay baseball hat and the rabbit and put the keys underneath there. And I'm like, you got to, well, it's just hard to go back there and blah, blah, blah. The fact they know all about this. They know about this. They know about people who take money and, you know what, I'm going to put it in a little plastic container, I'll just cash that I have, and I'm going to hide it in the refrigerator. They know about this stuff. I mean, this stuff has been going on for years and years and years. So, I mean, if you really want to be truly safe about it, do what I have, or do what I did. It's for me, it's a battle. This just doesn't work anymore. It really doesn't.
Someone's knocking at your door. Yell out, who is it? And don't, it's fine to yell like you have 12 baseball bats in your hand and AK-47 and everything else. I mean, be serious. Who is it? Like, what you want? If you put the door in, like, let them know right off the bat. What do you want? Why are you at my house at 12 o'clock at night? You shouldn't be, so what the heck do you want with me? We always get the question, what if it's a police officer? Every police officer here is going to show you should have, even if they're clothes, should have not one, but 2 forms of
You
ID.
gotta have an ID and you gotta have a badge. They have to, and they have a duty when you ask them for ID. They have a duty to show you. It's the way it is. Okay, so they typically most of the time they're going to be in uniform coming up for whatever reason. But if you got a guy standing out there, clothes like this that doesn't have a little show me your ID, and at the same time, you could even maybe call 911. Just you have that little feeling, back raise up on the back of your neck, might have your cordless. Yeah, I'm at such a place. I got a guy at my front door. I'm not sure. I'm asking him for ID. It might be a good idea just to try to get things started. Get the process started. Maybe in the meantime, he'll show you that. He'll prove you that he's a good criminal. It's better to be safe than sorry. Don't open the door. Don't open the door. Exactly.
And that's when Gary said you get on that phone and you call 911 and say, I have someone claiming to be from your department at my door. Do you have somebody here? And I, as a dispatcher, got those phone calls. I got one on him.
I got it. This is a good story. We were today. This is dispatch. I'm in full uniform. Full uniform. And there's a lot of of stuff. It's a locked building, it's 24/7 locked all the time. Cars each time you get into it. We don't go into it very often. It's a locked building 24/7. It used to be calls. It's a weekend, it's kind of slow. I've been in this building a long time. We like to go to buildings just to learn tactically where things are at in case something really, really bad goes on there. And I hate to say like an active shooter type thing, just so we know where the stairwells are at, elevators, and all this kind of stuff. So I go in, I walk around upstairs, and finally I get down to the basement, and this guy is one of the directors for the research department that's in that building. He sees me up this all of a sudden, and I walk by, I said, "How you doing?" He looks at me and he goes, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm just doing a walk through the building." He says, "You guys don't ever come in here." I said, "Well, I'm just walking through." He says, "Do you mind if I check to make sure you're supposed to be here?" And I said, "Hey," I said, "you can call my dispatcher if you want." I said, "You need the number?" He says, "Oh, I know the number. So 2222. Hi, this is such and such. I'm over in the basement of the Element building. I have a chief boy here who's in uniform. He says he's in here checking the building. Is it true? Is he in here?" "Oh yeah, he's in that building. He's checking it. He's on duty. Blah blah blah." I said, "Okay, thanks. Double checking to make sure." Talking to the bike. Hangs up. He gets up. He says, he had never seen us before, and even me with full uniform on, he didn't trust me. I don't know why, but he didn't trust me. Maybe I wasn't at the time. But this guy took it the extra mile. Literally, he took it the extra mile. Did I get mad at him? Heck no. He's trying to protect his citizens, you know. He's trying to protect himself and everything else that he's responsible for inside that building. I was like, "Hey, this guy's cool. I like that. You know, this guy went the extra mile, not only for himself, but for the people that he works for." So it was a good deal. It was funny. We talked about it afterwards. We had a pretty good time about it.
Cell phone's a big thing. Anyone not have a cell phone in here? Everyone's got it nowadays, right? No more. Gone are the days where we had to search the gas station for the best payphone, right? And then you run through your purse for a dime, quarter, 50 cents, whatever it was. Do you have your police department's phone number stored in your cell phone? Sometimes it's not 911. At Wayne State, it's not 911. It's 577-2222. I encourage you all today to not only know 911, but know your police department's other phone number. And put it in your phone. Don't wait until you need it to learn it. Because when the time comes, God forbid, you're going to be rummaging through going, "Oh my God, your mind's going to be blank. You're not going to be able to remember that phone number." Put it in your phone. It's something simple. For the students out there, do you have your school's phone number? Or for the parents, when you go to pick up your student, if you see something you need to call the school, do you have the school's phone number in your phone? It's another good one.
Your child's supposed to be somewhere. If they're not there, make that phone call to find out. Maybe they know a reason why that child is not there. Who knows? Go ahead.
If you do not have a cell phone, get somebody's old phone, and even if you don't have a cell carrier, it will dial 911. Keep it charged up, keep it in your glove compartment, keep it in your purse, and you'll still be able to make an emergency phone call from a phone that has no carrier.
Just real quick, does everybody know about ICE? In case of emergency, the ICE. What first responders, especially paramedics, if somebody is down, unresponsive, unconscious, one of the first things they do, obviously they try to go to ID, get ID, or look for a bracelet, or something like that. But they also go to the cell phone, and you get into the cell phone and they look up the ICE number, ICE. They go right to where the I's are in their directory. And ICE stands for in case of emergency. And they punch it for ICE, and it comes up with the emergency contact that can be called if something's going on with this person. So that's what they're looking for in the cell phone. They're looking for that phone number that is entitled ICE, IC.
Returning home. When you return home, kind of do a visual scan of the outside of your house. If you see something suspicious, say something. Call the police. There's You're not going to get mad. You don't have to feel bad if it turns out to be nothing. Call us. That's our job. We want to come out there and investigate it for you. I came home when I was living with my parents one time. I had to stay over a little bit on the afternoon shift, so it was about 2 o'clock when I was coming home. During the summer, my parents live on a very tree-filled street. There's everything else off of them. The last thing you want to do is go home if you see something suspicious outside of your home. Call the police. My sister is a 33-year-old woman. My father is a retired Detroit police officer. My 3 uncles were Detroit police officers. I have been in my department for 17 years, and she still says, but what if it's not? There's not anything wrong. They're just tired and they're sitting there. I feel bad. Don't feel bad. Absolutely not. Err on the side of caution. Call the police.
They're getting paid.
That's right. We're getting paid. Visual scan of your vehicle is something that's really simple, especially during Christmas time when a lot of crimes happen in mall parking lots. When you return your car, if your car is parked on that side, walk on this side so you have a clear view of your vehicle. What's the first thing that everybody does, man or woman, when you're walking to your car? Everyone's got a clicker in their hand, and from like 10 cars away, you're clicking it open. But what do those lights do to a would-be attacker? That's my car, right there. They don't have to wonder.
And guess what now? The car's online. Yep. And you haven't even gotten to it yet.
So the first thing you do is do that visual scan. If you see someone standing by your car, you can go look in your bag. Oh, I forgot that. Walk back in the mall like nothing's wrong and get on that phone and call 911. Someone's standing by my car. They're not supposed to be there. Help me. And they'll get somebody out there to help you. Go ahead. You're inside your car. Lock your doors and keep all valuables. What's the first thing women do with their purse when they get in the car? Put it on the passenger seat. It's still warm out. What's the second thing you do? Roll the windows down. At a light, someone can just stick their hand right in and take it out. They suggest, and I do this. I'm not going to say I'm perfect, but I say, look at that person over there. My dad's like, oh my gosh, this person walked up to this van, this old man sitting there at a light, starts yanking on his doors, trying to get in at the light. The guy, you can see, got real startled, but because he had his doors locked, he couldn't get in. And he took off like a shot right around the corner. So we got on the phone and said, there's this person out here trying to get in the vehicle. And now, honestly, I don't know whatever happened with it. But see something, say something. Go ahead. You're being followed. What do? Do you drive home? No. In your area, wherever you are, know where your police station is. Right up to the front door of the 13th precinct. Literally, talking right up over the curb on the front door and laid on his horn. And what do the police officers do? What the heck is going on? So they all ran out. And it turned out to be legitimate. So remember, err on the side of caution, know your surroundings, know the one-way streets, know the dead-end streets. Don't get yourself on the dead end. Go ahead.
One thing real quick with this is just a real quick story. My wife and her sister were going to, one night, about 11:30 at night, we're going to Harper Hospital to pick up their mom. And they were being followed by a car, and they noticed it some time before the light starts flashing on the car. And they thought for an instant that they were being pulled over by a police car. But they were hinky, and the hair was standing up, and they decided not to stop. Thank God. They kept going. They just kept going right to the hospital. They pulled up right to the front door of the hospital. As they pulled up onto the plaza at the hospital, this car just kept going straight, right up Jen. So this guy was, who would have known what would have happened if they would have made the stop. If you yourself are driving and you are doubtful about maybe some lights come on, red, blue, whatever the case, if for any reason you're doubtful that, is this guy really a police officer? Because this happens around here. And it actually normally happens, I think the last time I heard it was they actually ended up arresting a guy like up in Sterling Heights or something. He had tried pulling 7 or 8 different cars over like a week period. They finally caught the guy. Because what happened is he tried pulling over a car that was manned by 2 plainclothes police officers. And they were able to catch it. So if you're hinky, don't do it. What you can do is get on your phone, 911. Yes, I am at such and such and such and such. I'm in this green car, Ford or whatever, and I am being followed by what could be a police officer that's trying to pull me over, but I'm not sure. They're going to be able to verify that for you. Okay. If they can't, and you're having trouble trying to find somebody on that phone that can verify that, go to a place that is well lit, that is populated, all kinds of people around, and then when you pull up there, maybe then you'll be able to decipher whether these are really cops or not. Okay. If you don't stop immediately, and you can tell, you can articulate after the fact that I didn't think you were a cop because the lights didn't look right to me. It was a dark area. I was alone. I didn't feel safe. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to get you for fleeing and eluding or anything like that. You just have to articulate that I didn't know who you were. Okay, and you felt threatened, and it's all going to go your way. If you have any doubts, get on that phone and make that your first line of defense, that telephone. Okay.
Parking, again, we've talked about this. Park in a well-lit area. Don't park next to a big truck or a big van because it serves as a big wall. And person could easily hide behind it. Go ahead. Keys. When you approach your vehicle, have your keys in your hand. What's the most important key that we have in our hand? The one that opens the door, followed by the one that starts the ignition. And people always ask us, well, like, what if you lace your keys in between your hands and you use that as a self-defense thing? Is some attacker going to wait for you to Okay, now I'm ready. No, they're not going to wait for that. So you want to make sure that you have that one that's going to get you into the car. And now the car companies are making that it's all on one key. Your clicker, your ignition key, everything is on one key. So make sure you have that one.
So if you have that, just that one key, that one key in your hand, I mean, and you're walking, that's a heck of a weapon in and of itself, isn't it? That one single key, what you could do with that. You don't need to have all these things in your hand. That's just too much. When there's all this stress going on, that's just too much. You're thinking about just too much. One key, that's what you need.
Elevators. This is a big one for, that we teach at Wayne State because all the students are using the elevator. If that elevator door opens and there's a guy in there who is looking all sorts of shady, do you have to get in that elevator?
No, you don't.
Heck no. You can say, oh my goodness, yeah, what's up? Oh, professor, okay, and walk away. You can do your kick, like you're a little crazy. It doesn't matter. Are you going to hurt his feelings? Who cares? You're keeping yourself safe.
Yeah, if you do care about it, if you don't care, just say, go, get out of here. If you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, oh, I forgot something. Who cares? Who cares if you're hurting their feelings? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
We are trained by our wonderful mothers to have these manners. But in certain situations, it's okay to throw the manners right out the window. And this is one of them. Go ahead. Driving. When you're making plans to go out with someone you don't know, it's fine to meet them there. This is something we tell our college students. Whoa. Red flag. Go ahead. Say goodnight at the car rather than at the front door. What's it easy for a person to do at the front door? Push their way right in your house. Again, if they don't respect that, what should that be? Red flag. Because they are not respecting your wishes. Go ahead. Advertising yourself. This is something that was in the original RAD that we started 13 years ago at Wayne State. It's something that we have to talk about now because everybody puts their lives on Facebook and Twitter. Everybody. And then what do the people do when they go to restaurants or when they go to different places? I'm going to check myself in by GPS. And that's telling a would-be attacker exactly where you're at. Not generally, oh, she's at the National Coney Island at Mac and Ross in Detroit. Well, I'm going to go there. Be careful what you put on the internet, because it's going to haunt you. Go ahead. Wear clothing that you can punch, kick, and run in. You don't have to be like Mel Gibson, Working Girl, when she's got the nice tennis shoes with the socks and the nylons on. If you don't want to have this cool look right here, it's fine. But be like Carrie Bradshaw. Sarah Jessica Parker knows how to run her 5'2" bottoms. She knows how to kick them off.
It probably took a lot of practice, though.
And she knows how to use. What is this shoe right here? What do you think this could be used as? That's a weapon. If you know how to use your heels, those heels could be weapons. You take it off, hit somebody with it, and stomp the top of their foot. That thing in the top of someone's foot, it sounds violent, but is an attacker going to be able to take that for long? No, not at all. Go ahead. Try to exercise with a partner if one is not available. Make sure that you're in a safe place. Try to exercise when it's daylight. It's very simple. Go ahead. The noise canceling earphones that you get with your iPods, we see this with students at Wayne State all the time. They stick those things in. It's like something magic happens to their head when they stick those in, because they cancel out to the rest of the world. We will have scout cars that come up literally behind them, almost touching them, hit the air horn, which is, you know how loud that thing is. They don't hear it. They have no idea a ton vehicle is behind them.
And we're not doing it to play games. I mean, we're not trying to scare them or anything. We're trying to get somewhere. And we might be on campus trying to get to an address on campus that, maybe there's somebody sick or not. And we're, and they're just walking along.
And you're like, ah!
In their own little world.
And then once they realize, 5 minutes later, that they're being followed by a scout car with all the emergency equipment on, you do the, and they have no idea. You have no idea who's coming behind you. Where did that drink come from? Don't take drinks from other people. I've seen this happen, where a woman has taken a drink from somebody. I physically saw it happen with a coworker, and there was a day break. Err on the side of caution. We're all independent women in here. Buy your own drink. Seriously. I mean, go up there, buy your own drink, feel good about yourself. If you meet the man, fine. But don't take something from someone you don't know where it came from.
That is so true. This first part of this year, last year, we had a young lady at Michigan State University. I know a lot of you saw it on TV. I knew her personally. And I guess she trusted these two. She and her roommate trusted these two young men. In fact, y'all seen the two young men on TV too, where they talked them into having a drink and they dropped something in their drinks. One, she died because whatever was too much for her. She went through her first semester there. And the second one, she turned into a vegetable.
Oh my God.
Let it take her out. So when our young ladies go off to college, you have to really, I know you want to socialize and get a boyfriend and all of that. And then some boys are good looking, you want to get with them, but sometimes they can be the most dangerous persons you can get to. You have to really know them real well.
And just like she said, it took one time.
One time.
It changed two women's lives. It changed two families' lives. It just takes once. So be careful. Thank you for sharing that. We're going to start moving a little bit along because we're running short on time. Victimization triangle, this is something that we teach. You have the victim, the would-be perpetrator, and then you have the base or the foundation that is the opportunity. What happens to that triangle when you take the opportunity away? It falls. It falls in on itself. So that's kind of the mentality behind this program, is that if you don't put yourself in that situation, if you take the opportunity for a crime to happen away, triangle will fall. Pattern of an encounter, the subject takes touching and conversational liberties with you, red flag. If Gary's my date, come here. Gary's my date, and he is grabbing me on the arm constantly, and I'm like, doing this, and he keeps coming at me, and you're just like, stop pawing at me. What does that send to you as a woman? He's not listening to me. We're on our first couple dates and he's already not listening to me. Red flag. Subject does not respect your wishes. He attempts to isolate you. Maybe this could be physically at a party. He's attempting to isolate you in a bedroom, in a dark corner or something. Maybe this is in life. He's attempting to isolate you from your family, from your friends. Red flag should be going off. His attack may be subtle at first, but it can escalate in intensity when resisted. Defensive resistance, draw attention to yourself, rape and assault are private crimes. Yell, call 911, fire, no, stop, get back. And you yell as loud as you possibly can. If I'm on the street corner and I'm yelling those specific directives, you call 911, stay back from me, get away from me. What is everybody else going to do? They're going to look. And what is that now? It's not a private crime anymore, is it? Because I'm drawing attention to myself. When I was in that ATM vestibule, that's all it took, was me drawing attention and yelling.
What's the private crimes? What was that word that I pointed to at the very beginning? That we're actually trying to prevent. Abduct. Trying to prevent abduction. The abduction is what makes it a private crime. That's when we have students in a class. That's right up front. This is what you're trying to do. You're trying to prevent a rape, yes, but in actuality, you're trying to prevent an abduction because that's what's going to lead to rape.
That unstopping video that all of us see exactly how quickly 85 suspects, including alleged rapists and murderers. But tonight, the focus is on this man and this man. The entire city is being mobilized to catch him. Pierre Thomas, ABC, Washington.
Down the street. I said, no adult. Anybody can drive down the street.
Happens in my neighborhood all the time.
And I have personally put here in the area because we do have a person that's on a sex offender. You know, you can go on TV and they be living right next door to you. So you know, I alerted the people that we do have one in the area. Watch for your children.
Absolutely. That's a secondary question. Why was a 10-year-old watching a 2-year-old? But we don't have time for that. That is a whole thing that I could probably talk to you personally, like 24 hours straight about that. About it just hurts me.
But it was the voice of a 2-year-old that probably prevented that from becoming a private crime. The public didn't want that to happen.
This is a video that's from a car wash and it has no sound, but you see the difference. This is from Florida, Sarasota, Florida, a couple years ago, and it's the girl who gets abducted from the car wash.
It's been 10 years already.
Oh my gosh, it's been 10 years, wow. And you see, she doesn't.
That's truly sad what just happened right there.
He just takes her away.
They find her. A few days later, she's dead.
The reason I show that video, and we're going to demonstrate one of our moves just to give you kind of an idea, is that we have a move in RAD that's very simple. That if you're walking and someone grabs you by the wrist, no, 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 and you violently fight your way out of that.
See how she was talking the whole time? Why is she doing that? Get attention? Absolutely, to get attention. She's also doing it to breathe. If you're talking, you're breathing. If you're not talking, you're probably holding your breath. And you're not going to last in a fight if you do that. You're just gonna puff right out, and pretty soon you're just going to be. You're talking, you're breathing. That's one of the things we talk about in our class when we're doing our moves. We're making sure that even when we're practicing doing our strikes and our kicks and stuff, they're always going, so that on that fourth night, they're yelling then too. And they see, and they get to watch each other do our little simulation stuff, and they notice what happens to somebody if they're not talking. they hold their breath, they get tired really fast, and they can't keep up. So, two purposes: get the attention and to keep breathing. So, in case that fight lasts, you're going to be able to take it to the end, and you're not going to peter out, basically.
Running, you only have so much adrenaline, so when you're running to get out of a situation, make sure you've already identified where your door is, where your safety is. Make sure you're running towards that, so you're not having to run like, the cartoons all over, like this, to get to somewhere safe. Make sure you run directly towards safety. Go ahead. Compliance is a perfectly acceptable option in certain circumstances. When you are complying, turn that anger that you have, turn that fear into anger, and come up with a mindset. So maybe he's got a weapon and you have to comply, but in order to assault you, he doesn't have 8 arms like an octopus. He's got to put that weapon down, right? And then you attack. So you might have to comply to save your own life to a certain point, but as hard as it is, get your mind of attack, or get your plan of attack in your mind, and then when you see that opportunity, go for it. Go ahead. Defensive resistance, pepper spray. A lot of people carry pepper spray. We always just want to remind you that whatever weapon that you have can be used as a weapon, not only on that person, but on you. Reporting an incident, call 911. We need the information. We're here to help you. Again, call us. You might be the missing piece of the puzzle of the crime that we have been looking at for a whole month. And you call, you don't know how many times this happens, and you give us the missing piece of the puzzle, and we put it all together. Go ahead. Vulnerable target areas on a man. We teach in our self-defense class that when you're using these moves, you want to make the most use of them. So you want to go for the targets where it's going to cause the most pain. It's going to cause the most, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be the most effective.
There you go.
Anywhere on the head, the eyes, the nose, the chin, the throat. You give someone a good punch to the throat, they're not going to be able to breathe. The abdomen, family jewels, the knees, the shin, and then the feet. Go ahead. Personal weapons that each and every one of you possess in here right now, the front and the back of your head. Headbutts, going backwards. A headbutt right to another person's face. It sounds super violent, but is that going to hurt somebody? Absolutely. Go ahead. Your mouth. We just talked about that. That 2-year-old, 2 years old, they have a limited vocabulary at 2 years of age. They use their mouth as their personal weapons. They're too little to fight back. But they did. They fought that man back. The little girl used her personal weapons, used her arms, was flailing around, did exactly what she was supposed to do, got themselves out of that terrible situation. Go ahead. Your fingers, right to the eyes, right to the throat. Fingers are great personal weapons. Go ahead. Your fist, obviously. Everyone put your hand up. In order to make a proper fist, roll your fingers down into this, and then your thumb goes over. It doesn't come up here. I can't even do that. Because what's going to happen when you hit somebody, it's also your thumb's going to take the brunt of it. It goes down here. It doesn't go underneath because the same thing, when you hit somebody, your thumb might get broken. So this is how to make a proper fist. Okay, go ahead. The palm of your hand. Can you imagine doing the palm of your hand? Someone comes up to you and just boom, right into their nose. Is there any kind of exercise that we can do to make our nose stronger? No, our noses don't have little 6-packs on them because we've been lifting weights. You can't do that. So that's a good way to use your palm. Go ahead. Your elbow. This is a wonderful personal weapon that the Lord has given us. This right here, an elbow to somebody's abdomen, an elbow up to the face. This is going to give someone a world of hurt if you deliver one of these blows with the elbow. Go ahead. Knee, another great weapon. We teach knee strikes. You know, once you got a person down, you can do it right to their head. Go ahead. Your feet, obvious. We all can use our feet with kicking. That's the end of our personal weapons. We want to let you know that October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We are actually having something on campus. It's the hands-off promise or hands-down promise, where we're encouraging all the students to come and sign a promise to keep their hands off. Hands off everybody. We're going to actually have them draw their hands across campus to bring awareness to domestic violence, which is something that unfortunately plagues people within the United States. We just went to San Antonio, Texas, wearing my shirt today, and got trained on how to properly educate women on domestic violence. We had 2 police officers in the class who were victims themselves and were able to share their stories with us. And just even thinking about it now is giving me goosebumps. So if any of you from 10 to 6 on October 24th, right in the middle of Wayne State's campus, come out there and take the promise with us. Go ahead. This is the conclusion. We were asked to do some physical stuff today. The reason that we don't do this is because RAD considers themselves like a private club. RAD for Women considers themselves a private club for women. So we only do it in our teaching setting where we have the safety pads and we have all that kind of stuff. So having said that, we encourage all of you to come join us for one of our RAD classes. It's $20.
This is kind of a teaser.
Yeah, this is a teaser. We just want you to come. Pardon me?
Where is it?
It's at our police department, at the Wayne State University Police Department, which is just north of Wayne State's main campus. It's $20. I guarantee you, and I don't make promises I don't keep, and Gary can attest to this, we see women come in the first day, nobody's talking to anybody, everyone's just sitting there kind of, and by the 4th day, they're high-fiving each other, they're cheering each other on, and you actually go through a simulation on the 4th night where you fight your way against 2 police officers dressed in red man suits. You fight your way out of the situations. And women walk away feeling empowered, confident. We're always kind of leery about letting the women out on the 4th night because they're so jazzed up that they're like, come on. Come on. I mean, they're walking down dark alleys because they want to test out what they can see.
Or we just shake their head and go, oh, God.
I mean, they're hiding there like, they're waiting. So it is a wonderful class. And I hope we've been able to answer some of your questions today. You know, please feel free if you have any questions right now to ask us.
Can they get right on the website, wayne.edu, and get the upcoming schedule?
They can. It's police.wayne.edu, I believe.
Police.wayne.edu.
It's 6050 Cass Avenue.
Classes in the evening.
They already say, oh yeah, you did. You did the flying kick from across the room. And you're going to be able to watch yourself. So everyone watches as a group. You know, you bonded with this group of women for 4 days, and you get to watch each other now succeed in something you've been learning for the last 4 days. It's truly an amazing experience. Go ahead.
What does RAD stand for again?
RAD stands for Rape, Aggression, Defense.
Next Monday.
It's usually Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday.
Yes.
For the ICE, I know a lot of people like lock their phones. So does the ICE, does it still work or?
No. If you have your phone locked, that's a problem that we come up against. You know, we hope that someone calls the phone because then we answer it really quick. And then we're able to say, hey, do you have a phone number for whoever this phone belongs to, their loved one or their emergency contact?
So would you suggest maybe just writing it down and putting it in your wallet?
And yeah, that's fine too. Like right in front of your license or something like that. Any other questions?
Is there another session on the 21st of this month? I mean,
Of this month?
yeah. From here.
No. There isn't?
Oh, here, yeah.
Oh, here, yeah. Sorry, you're right. Absolutely.
Yes,
There
well-
is another.
Saturday after. Is it the same thing or a continuation of this?
It's probably going to be the same thing, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just a different person that we teach.
Yeah, we try to do our RAD classes. We try to do one-on-one. That's kind of a lot. When we talk to other institutions that do RAD programs, they usually try to do one like every semester if they're a university, like one every 3 months or so. We try to do one a month. Obviously, we have a limited number of instructors, and scheduling instructors, because we have some people work days, some people work midnight, some people work afternoons, and some people on vacation, and so sometimes we can't do one a month, but that's our goal. And we're starting up here again pretty soon. I think we have one this month. I think it's already.
We do.
Is it already on full?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
To be honest with you,
It may.
it's not next week, it's the week after.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's full. Yeah, we usually fill up pretty quick. I think we allow 16 ladies in for one class. We do it in our multi-purpose room, which is on the second floor of our police station. It's a fairly large area, and it works really well for us. The one in September is full. I think we're going to be doing another one in October. So
September or November.
Is it November?
It's November.
Okay.
October's domestic violence, and then November
That's right.
we're doing RAD for women.
That's right.
And another thing we're going to be expanding to, and we're limiting it to Wayne State right now, just because we're trying it out, is we just got certified in RAD for men. So we'll be teaching our young men how to properly defend themselves. A little bit different mentality. It's resisting aggression with defense. So it's how to shut it down right away.
And it even talks about when we do our tabletop stuff with the guys, when we get them into class, it's not just physical. We're talking about how to deal with somebody verbally. If there's pressure there and you think there might be violence, how to get out of it. Using just talking. We talk about domestic violence in that class. We talk about the respect of women in that class. It covers all kinds of different topics. And it's normally 3 days, three-hour sessions and then we haven't quite decided yet if we're going to add a fourth day where we're actually going to have a simulation night also for that. So we're going to be busy. We're going to be real busy.
Ages for men right now is college age on up.
Yeah.
This is literally something we're just starting.
Yeah, we're just starting. I mean, we're just getting our foot in the door on this one. They had a meeting yesterday with the dean of students, and we're trying to put it together where some of these organizations on campus are saying, okay, if you're going to be on the football team, you have to do this. Or if you're going to be in this organization, you have to do this. So that's what we're kind of working on right now. Try to make it a little more of a, you have to do this kind of thing. So, yeah.
But I encourage every, go ahead.
Is there a phone number?
577-6064, and that is Lieutenant Dave Scott. He's the one that does all the registering.
Says 6764?
Yes.
6064.
6064.
Yeah, 6064.
I hope we have entertained you today. I hope you ladies take something away from this today. If you take nothing else, be the one in this world that's going to make a difference. You've all heard that quote, be the change you want to see in this world. Be the one that stands up for someone who can't defend themselves in that moment. Okay? Go ahead.
I'd like to thank the presenters and all of you attendees that are here today in assisting Rachel. She's working on her Gold Award, the highest award in Girl Scouting, and this was her project. Rachel, we would not be. Thank you.
I also have one thing to say. Since they couldn't go, I didn't want you guys to leave here without seeing how to use these, like in real life. So, Erica, my sister Erica. Like, grabs you behind, like this. I'm not gonna hurt her, just so you all know. Like, Erica, if you don't mind grabbing as tight as you can. Like this. All right. If someone grabs you like this, you step on their foot, right? I'm just move so they can see. Okay. Step on their foot. And then you elbow as hard as you can. And as you can see, she has to let go. Now you can do like whatever you want. You can do the eye poke. She has glasses, so that's not gonna work though. So what I would suggest is like a quick elbow to the neck, or a palm strike to the face. Like that's how you would use these techniques in real life. Do you guys want to try it?
No.
Okay, if you don't want to try it, you don't have to.
Why not?
But if you would like to try it. Okay, now just use one of your elbows and just elbow in the stomach. Now I'm stunned, I'm backing out. Like if I was an attacker, I'd be kind of dazed. Now, just to make sure that I don't run after you, because if I was an attacker, I'd run after you. So, like now would be a good time to like palm strike to the face or elbow in the neck strike. Okay. Just like.
So just do it if the person's not.
Okay, cool. Just like.
Like
Right.
that.
That would back me off personally. You want to try it now?
Good point.
Okay. Oh. Now, the faster you do it, the harder it's gonna be.
Don't turn around, look.
Now, like, I have glasses, so I pose that. Right to the nose, elbow to the neck. Now, the thing is, to make these work, you have to put your body into it. Just, that's not going to do anything. You have to, like, okay?
I just mean to hurt you.
Yes, you have to mean it. You have to mean it. Just doing the motions is not going to work. You have to put your body into it. Whatever you do, put your body into it. Like if it's an elbow, punch, put your body into it. Right. Oh, and the thing with punches, do not lock it straight out. Always keep a little bent or else you'll like break something. So, all right, do you guys feel a little more confident now? Yeah. Oh, also, if someone's like grabbing you by the wrist and trying to grab you. When we had karate class a few months ago, all the instructors came out. So this is something I kind of just learned. Okay, one thing you can do, it's like you can put your hand right there. You can just, okay, so like, you just grabbing your hand with the other one, and then you just lifting up and pushing out. Anyone want to try it?
You do that one more time.
Oh, you can
Do you demonstrate that one more time?
She's grabbing you, right? You just put your other hand over your fist. You just lift up. She knows how to do another one that I'm not very good at.
So you turn towards the thumb, and then you just really.
Always go towards the thumb, because that's like the weakest finger. If anyone's grabbing you, go towards the thumb.
Can't do thumb exercises very well. You don't get very strong.
Sure no one wants to try it?
And Rachel made a very good point. She said that you got to do this with some gusto and you got to make it count. Because why? You might only get that one chance. So make it count, just like she said. Can I try with them? Oh, sure. Because we don't do this one, so that's interesting. So you grab your own. That's a good one. No, you're fine. What about with a male? Want to try?
And do you?
Yeah, like clearly, you're stronger than me.
You're hiding him.
Okay. She's pulling right against my thumb.
We only saw your back.
Oh, let's do it to the side. They didn't see it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, can everyone? Okay, just put it over.
She's coming out right here.
Like that weak thumb.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm holding on tight. I can't hang on. Can't do it.
Oh, another thing, strength does not matter. You could be a bodybuilder with muscles on muscles, and like if you go towards the thumb, you'll still get out. So strength does not matter.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So do you guys feel a little more confident? I hope I helped.
Yes.
another one on the 21st, so just in case you missed something or you want to bring a friend, that will help too. And if you didn't get a handout, there, right there. And if you have any questions, like where you can take martial arts classes, or just like if you want to know more techniques, you can come up and ask me. Okay? And then like there's a billboard right over there. So just in case the whole PowerPoint didn't do it for you, you have examples of stuff where this happened. And if these people saw this presentation, they probably wouldn't be on the billboard right now. So just a few examples on why this stuff is actually important. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You can go ahead. You guys can start.
No, like you grab your wrist.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like, I'm gonna find you. Just put you in the
Think about it.
Yeah, my body's ready because I've been falling on you.
Like we always say,
Just like you twist it. Use your hips.
Okay. Use my hips.
come see us.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
You actually headbutted me. That would work.
But that's all right.
That would work too.
Okay, do it again. Okay, separate minutes. But I got you against the wall.
So just elbow.
Let me try one more.
a holiday inn.
Step on your foot. Okay. All right.
Okay, and then this time you can do like elbow to the throat, or like do the palm strike.
After I got away, turn back.
And if you're gonna do the palm strike, keep your fingers together.
My mom and sister took time.
Keep it tight. Keep it together, or else you can break it.
You know, the first time we talked, we do a lot of talking. The second, third, fourth.
No, you didn't hear it, but you saw it.
Thank you very much.
I do not know the formula for making phone numbers. I do not know the phone numbers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here.
And just like Google Southville.
I'm going to see about it. I enjoyed it too. And Angela, I'm not the one. And I'm here where somebody, I don't know if it's a woman or a man. I'm looking at the corner of my eye to see which way they're going.
Are you familiar with the area?
And if they're too close, I kind of turn this way, and I see them pass by.
Is it down by that way?
But I'm aware that
It's right.
Yes.
Yep. And I can remember I was going in the planes.
I'm thinking
I saw the
something
young fellow coming down. When he got to the car, I opened the door. And he just reached over and grabbed my necklace. And I just took it over and I just hit it with my arm. That's the only thing I could do. I thought he was thinking, but later on I saw it.
Okay.
When I noticed that he hadn't taken it, I guess I responded so fast.
I know.
So that makes me, that just makes me more aware of what can happen.
Absolutely.
We do the
And
when they have
gentleman in the
multiple
cleaners,
martial arts
he said that
classes,
they have a camera, but I guess
kickboxing, they have Tai Chi.
panned out from
They
it.
have a lot of
He didn't get anything, he just broke my chain, that's all. He could have had the chain.
Yeah.
I was still on
Yeah,
it.
Yep, there you go.
Absolutely.
You did what you did.
So many things have happened, and then I went to
Tuesdays and
presentations
Tuesdays.
for senior citizens we have.
I have a 3-year-old, so I want to.
Thursday, the 3-year-olds, their class starts at 5
Thursday,
o'clock.
they had
And
someone
they end
coming in
at
from my
6:30.
police department.
6:30.
It's an hour and a
And
half.
this one time, and he said,
I'll look it up. Thank you.
what you do when someone comes to your house,
Ladies, anything, any closing remarks for your video?
because if you pretend
I
that
hope I helped. If you want to go over these techniques and more review, like you can like join a class, look them up. Remember, always put your body into it and just mean it. Whatever you do, mean it. If you don't have that mentality, it's
I
not
don't
going to
open
work.
that, the regular door.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like,
Any closing comments?
Well, yes. Thank you for
That's as far as
thank
I
you
know.
for all
That's
who's
I
watching.
remember somebody
And
said,
if you if you want to have more, there's another one on the
So he had to
21st.
come
So
to
make sure you tune in.
never open
Thank you.
There you go. If you're aware.
Come and join us for the class. Every woman has the ability to be that change, that one person in the world who makes a difference in their lives and in somebody else's life. Be the change. That's why God put us here.
I just want to say, come to our class, don't be a victim, and you'll be a survivor.
RAD program, Rape Aggression Defense. Contact is Lieutenant Dave Scott, 313-577-6064.